What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today is Tuesday, September 13th. It's day 70 inside the Big Brother house. And yesterday on the live feeds, it was all about the veto ceremony. And to no surprise, Brittany used the veto on herself and was taken off the block. Taylor was named as the replacement nominee by Monte. So now it's all about trying to figure out who's going to vote where and what's going to happen if it's a tie. If I had to put my money on it right now, I think Alyssa goes, and I think that's the smartest move for a lot of the house guests. And we can kind of break up some of that down at the end of the video. Other than that, on the live feeds, there was lots of napping. They slept a lot today, but there were a few conversations of note. First off, Turner and Brittany had a convo where they were trying to clear the air, but it didn't seem to really do that too well. Turner pretty much was trying to just let her know that, like, yeah, I had heard that, like, after our final two, then you were then pitching for me to go, and you were pitching for me to go this week, which totally fair, I understand, but there was just a lot of things that didn't really add up, and Michael had even told me about the stuff that you were saying, and I don't think people realized how close me and Michael were, and Brittany, like, didn't believe that. She was like, I'm just gonna tell you flat out, like, I don't really buy that much, like, from what I know of Michael, and like, me and Michael were really close, but like, Brittany, he's not lying. They had like a final three deal. Like, yes, Michael would have been more loyal to you, but he was making a deal with Monte and Turner to stay, but they weren't going to really hold up to that because they wanted to get him out. So there was lots of lies going on, but what he's saying isn't not true. And Michael did complain about you before he left. There were multiple times during that week where he just kept saying, like, what are you doing? Why are you playing so hard? She also tried to say that she was, you know, making those final twos and stuff for Michael's game. Brittany's in her own world right now. A lot of what she's saying, like, she believes but doesn't believe in other things, and yeah, it's a whole thing. Brittany, I just don't really has a grasp on what actually was going on. I think she's gonna have kind of a wake up call once she gets out of the house and gets to see everything that happened, because yeah, she's off base on a lot of it. Don't get me wrong, her and Michael were 100% the closest in the house, but to think that Michael didn't know that people were coming after him, or to think that he didn't have other deals going on, is, come on. Like, you have to know that he was going to be doing that. You have to. And then to not believe Turner when he's telling you 100% the truth, how else would Turner have known that you were pitching for him to Michael? How would he have known that? I'm just saying. Brittany then also got a little bit more bad news because she had a convo with Alyssa, and this was after the veto ceremony, where she was, you know, Alyssa was trying to get her vote, right? Trying to do that last minute campaign, like to see if maybe there's a chance she can get Brittany's vote, because if you get Brittany's vote, she can probably get Turner's vote, and then she has a chance to stay. And she kind of like compared their games a lot, kind of saying like, look, I feel like me and you have very similar games. Like, you have more, you know, wins than me. What do you have, like 4 vetoes? And Brittany's like, well, 2 and 2, you know. But she's like, I feel like if it was us sitting at the end, it'd be much more beneficial than you sitting with anybody else, which might have been true at one point, but I really feel like now Alyssa has a much better shot at beating Brittany than Brittany would have of beating anyone in the house at this point. I just don't think anyone in the jury respects her game. Not even Michael. Like, Michael might give her a pity vote in the end, but other than that, I just don't see anyone being like, yeah, I'm gonna pick Brittany to be the winner over Taylor or Monte or Turner or even Alyssa at this point. So yeah, I just don't see any scenario for Brittany to be able to pull off a win here. Hey, maybe she goes on crazy wins here at the end, and it's undeniable that she won, you know, 2 HOHs and a veto in the next 2 weeks here, but we'll see. We'll see with that. Now, the convo did go a little bit further because then they started talking about like, oh, like what did Michael say when he was, leaving and how hurt she was by that? Did he say anything else? And Alyssa's like, yeah, you know what? He told us that, you were lying about everything. He told me you were lying about his job. And Brittany was kind of shook by this. She was very upset. Not necessarily in the conversation with Alyssa, but like afterwards, she had a cam talk where she was just like, Michael, like, why? Like, why would you do that? And she kind of debated whether or not she should even tell the other house guests, like, what her real job is. At this point, it doesn't really matter. She could tell them, she could not, and it's not going to change anything on how they feel about her or anything. It would just be like, oh, cool, I guess. they would not care one bit whether or not she told them what her real job was. I feel like a lot of them had already guessed it earlier in the year when she was doing her like therapy sessions or whatever, and they've kind of like guessed it at different times. But yeah, it's a thing. Now, as far as like the scenarios, let's kind of go over what's best for different people here. Obviously, if you're Taylor or Alyssa, it's best to stay in the house. So those ones are pretty easy. If you're Brittany, I feel like her best bet is to keep Taylor. That is someone who she has the most trust in. Plus, if she were to vote out Taylor, that would probably just be another person who would never vote for Brittany in the end. And if she can break up the whole Turner-Alyssa thing, that's just another reason why Turner should take her to, final 3 or final 2 over Alyssa. So for Brittany, the best bet here is to get rid of Alyssa. Now, for Turner, his best bet would be to get rid of Taylor. If he were able to get rid of Taylor, then that secures Monte is going to be in tight with him. Monte would take Turner over Brittany. He would take Turner over Alyssa. So in any scenario, it's best for Turner if Taylor stays. Also on that, or if Taylor goes. Also on that point, Alyssa would take Turner over Brittany or Monte, presumably. I would assume that she would. There's a chance she would take Brittany. There is, but I feel like for the most part, she would always kind of choose Turner over everybody else because they've been very close since the very beginning of this game. Now, for Monte, I think his best bet is to get rid of Alyssa. Now, he's pretty close with Taylor. He's pretty close with Brittany. There is an argument that, like, hey, you get rid of Taylor, that's a good competition person to get out. But again, a lot like the reasons we talked about with Turner, how Alyssa would probably take Turner over, let's say, Monte. Taylor would probably take Monte over Turner. So for Monte, he's probably better off keeping Taylor around because that also then breaks up the Alyssa-Turner connection, where it guarantees and locks in that Turner would take Monte over Alyssa. If she was not an option, he can't take her. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this all kind of plays out here because, again, going into Final Four, it's all about the veto, and whoever wins the veto has the most power. HOH just kind of secures your safety. Veto has that sole vote to evict. So once it's down to 4 there, it's going to be interesting. Now, when we get down to 4, let's, just assume that Taylor's going to stay here because, like I said, it seems like for at least 2 of the people who have any control over this week, Brittany and Monte, getting rid of Alyssa is their best option. So if we go with the final 4 of Taylor, Monte, Turner, and Brittany, funny enough, all leftovers, which is a thing. The scenarios here, really, it's you really want to get rid of Taylor if possible, because she's the one who probably has the best chance of winning against everyone. She's got the best story. The jury had already been seem to have been talking her up a lot. Terrance is one that's probably not really on her side, though if you watch some of his exit interviews, I recommend Jessica Milagros' interview from Girl Let's Agree to Disagree over on her channel. Yeah, he turned all of a sudden into pro Taylor out of nowhere. But yeah, I would think the jury would be very favorable to Taylor being the winner against Brittany, Turner, or Monte. The Taylor Monte matchup is probably the one that would be the closest, because I think they would view Taylor's story as being really good, but Monte probably having the better game overall with more HOH wins, and just an overall better social game from beginning to end. But anything's possible with this jury. They seem to be a very bitter bunch, but we'll see. Now, other than that, if you were, let's say, Brittany, Monte or Turner are probably the best bet to get out. Of the two, ooh, it's close. It's close on who you would probably want to get out first. Probably Monte. That would probably be your best bet if you were, let's say, Brittany to win the veto in the final four. And then if you're Turner, I'm not sure either, right? Because if you take out Monte in the final four, you leave Taylor and Brittany, and that kind of forces you to have to win the final HOH. If you leave Monte in, there's a good chance that, hey, Monte will take me to the final two. So if either one of us wins, we're in the final two and just hope for the best. So it could be interesting. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, like this person has to get this person out and this person has to get this person out. But yeah, you can't just think like, oh, well, yeah, it makes sense because I got to get this person out. You also have to think, how do I even get to the final two if the two people against me aren't going to take me? And if I happen to lose, I need someone there who at least might take me to the end. Taylor might take Monte, but I don't think he really even trusts that, especially after having to put her up for a replacement nominee this week. I think he realizes that, yeah, you know what, there's a good chance Taylor would cut me at final three if she had the chance, or even at final four. It's going to be a wild one. It's going to be a wild 2 weeks here that we have left, and then finale night not too far away either. So it's once again just more of the unpredictableness of this season, and it's been why this season has been so fun to watch from beginning to end. It started off a little bit rough. We were like, man, this is kind of rough, to turning into one of the best seasons we've had in years. Also, we did yesterday hit 5,000 subscribers here on the channel, which just completely blows my mind, and I really cannot thank each and every one of you enough who have hit that button, who watch my videos on a daily basis, who smash that like button, who comment down below. So many regulars that I just look forward to seeing their comment on each and every video. So thank you all just so much for the incredible support that I've received here, and I really can't thank you all enough. I've also seen a lot of questions about what's next for the channel, so for sure, I'm going to try and cover Survivor. I've never covered Survivor on this channel, and while I have watched plenty of seasons of Survivor, I haven't seen them all. There's a few seasons that I haven't seen all the way through, but I've seen most of the like well-known good ones. I've also gone and watched things like Australian Survivor seasons. I watched the most recent one that was Blood Worth Water, had Sandra on there as well. That was actually a really good season. But yeah, I will be fun to jump into the Survivor recap game. Other than that, we will have Big Brother Canada coming in February, so for sure I will be covering that one as well. And I'm thinking that there's a challenge season that's coming up. I probably should have started doing some of the challenge recaps with Challenge USA, because I've been watching it, enjoying it a lot. Anybody who's been watching that would probably agree that it's been a very fun show to watch, especially that last episode. No spoilers or anything, but it was a very Enzo from Big Brother heavy episode, and yeah, really recommend checking out the Challenge USA if you have not as well. But other than that, I have thought of doing some more produced Big Brother content. I have a list of video ideas, kind of going over different like Big Brother topics and things that I'd like to discuss more kind of in depth than just kind of doing these update videos. But also, I want to hear from you guys. What are some of the things that you would like to see me cover on this channel? Whether it's TV, news, sports, whatever it could be. Let me know. Give me your ideas down in those comments down below. Because you guys are what have made this channel what it is. So I really can't thank you all enough for that. And I want to hear your input on things that you would like to see. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, though, and this was your first time, hit that subscribe button right down there. Smash that like button if you made it all the way to the end of this video, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, you never miss a stream, and I will see you next time.